"It will take 1,000,000 men 100 years to take Tarawa," said a confident Japanese admiral. He had never met Marines, but he was about to. The island of Tarawa was a random island in bumduck nowhere, with a total population of 2 gay crabs before the war. The Japanese turned it into an incredibly fortified fortress. Orders were given, and some 18,000 U.S. Marines were sent to capture Tarawa. When the Marines reached the beach, they were pinned down immediately as they faced everything that the Japanese had. The outlook was grim. The Marines were able to capture only 80 yards of beach after 10 hours of fighting. The 5,000 Japanese defenders and 2 crabs were well supplied and prepared. It took 18,000 Marines 3 days to take the island. Only 17 Japanese soldiers survived. One of them later wrote, "We all watched in horror as the American landing craft were coming towards us like dozens of spiders over the surface of the water. One of my men exclaimed, 'The god of death has come.' Why did the prediction of 1,000,000 men in 100 years fail so badly? Well, Marines can't count past 10 without taking off their boots, so they simply didn't understand how big a number they were supposed to be intimidated by was." Please follow for more crab stories. This recruit's stench wasn't measured in intensity anymore. It was measured in casualties. One evening, after an intense day of training, the drill took one whiff and yelled, "What the unholy duck is that smell, recruits? It smells like y'all decided to use your goddamned wall lockers as shitters." All right, seriously, recruits. No more bullshitting. The duck is that smell. Recruit K doesn't perform personal hygiene, sir. So the drill walks up to the now freshly named recruit shower and says, "You nasty little duck. You smell worse than a thigh lady on 2 for 1 night. I mean, holy hell, recruit. I have been in shit, and I'd rather be knee-deep in it than smell your unsanitary, inhuman, unworthy, repulsive gutter hole. Holy mother of baby Jesus. From now on, your filth cave is on a first-name basis with every bar of soap in this facility. If you miss one shower, I'll have you running laps around the base with a bar of soap stapled to each ball. Sir, I do not shower for religious reasons." The drill had enough. He marched Recruit K to the showers and made him stand at parade rest while the entire platoon took turns throwing soap bars at him in a twisted game of dodgeball, yelling, "Embrace the soap or meet your pope." Please follow or prepare for the stapler. They say that the chain of command is like a tree. The higher up you go, the more nuts you find. We had an absolutely clunk of a lieutenant. He walked around like his crap didn't stink, thought he knew everything there was to know, pretty much like most LTs. And he was nuts. The worst kind. An overconfident one. There was a running joke about him. How can you tell a lieutenant is lost when he's holding a map and looking confident? But there was one time when our platoon got back at him. One weekend, a bunch of us were walking back from a base shop, loaded up with snacks for the weekend. Our hands were totally full. Our LT walked past us and we nodded and said, "Sir," instead of saluting. Most officers won't make you put down all your crap just to salute, at least the good ones. This guy flipped out about us not saluting and proceeded to PT the duck out of us for about 30 minutes. After that, it was on. Anytime we saw this guy, we would grab everyone we could, form a line with about 20 feet distance between each person, and walk towards him. He would have to salute every single one of us. He always had about 20 soldiers beelining towards him just to salute. This went on for about 3 weeks, him saluting everyone all the time, every single day. He finally got tired of it and asked us not to salute him anymore. Please follow for more military madness. Your form is so bad, Bob Ross would be mad about it. Drill instructor yelled at Recruit K for not being able to run for more than 60 seconds. Some recruits are bad, but K was more useless than lipstick on a pig. He was a lost cause, but one drill would not give up on him. Give up yelling. Recruit K finished the easy 1-mile run last, long after everyone else. His best friend Drill was waiting for him at the finish line and had some words of encouragement. "Recruit, every once in a while, a Marine comes through here that gives me a glimmer of hope for the future of the Corps. You're not that recruit. As a matter of fact, I die a little inside each time you attempt a task. Stephen Hawking on an empty battery would be faster than you. Tomorrow we start swim week, and I pray to God that you can at least swim." He could not. Just before the first swimming session, Kay asked, "What happens if we don't know how to swim, Drill?" "I suggest you hold your breath and run like hell when you get to the bottom." That day, we lost Recruit K. He could not run on dry land, and he could not run in the pool. He was recycled and had to start boot with the next group of recruits. Some say that he is in boot to this day. Please follow so I do not feel as useless as Recruit K was.
Error.
If an orphan makes cookies, are they still homemade? A reasonably bright pilot once asked his squadron mates. He was that type of guy who every now and then would say or do something to make you completely question his intelligence, like, "I need to develop patience immediately," or "I can make birds levitate, but no one cares." His buddies in the squadron decided he must have had touchdown syndrome, meaning just a touch of down. His call sign became touchdown. It may seem cruel or in bad taste, but that's how guys and girls in the Air Force roll. A not very well-liked guy had an uncanny ability to always appear appear when all the hard work was done. He got a fitting call sign, Blister. Victim was a call sign for a young pilot who, after a night of clubbing, woke up in a random dorm room the next morning with no clothes and no recollection of what happened or how it happened. His squadron mates had a field day filling in the gaps. Though the stories ranged from the mundane to really weird, they agreed on one thing, that the pilot was a victim of something unsavory. The pilot fought the call sign hard, saying that it was just a simple case of drinking too much. But everyone would just make a sad face and say something like, "Your past doesn't define you." Please follow for more call signs. There are two critical mistakes that you can make in boot camp. First, the less crushing one, disrespect. Recruit K was extremely tired after the first 2 exhausting weeks of boot. His platoon sucked, and they were being yelled at non-stop. During the last run of the day, K was lagging behind and was again being motivated by a helpful and considerate drill. It was just too much. He broke and said to the DI, "F you, I am not running anymore." The drill instructor smiled and said, "Sit and take your time." K was stunned. The drill then turned to the rest of the platoon and made them do a lot of extra laps. With each lap, they were made to say one of two things to K: "Thank you," or "Battle buddy." The platoon thanked him again in the barracks later that night. But that day was not the worst day of boot for him. Not long after that, K lost his rifle. In the military, the world comes to a bitter end for you if you lose your rifle. The whole damn compound searches for your rifle, cursing your name as they do. After 20 minutes, someone found it in a bathroom stall. The whole platoon got pitted. They were pitted for so long that the DI got tired and had to switch with another drill who pitted them some more. I saw them in the morning and then later before lights out, still in the pit. Please follow so my world does not come to a bitter end. Bangs was a temporary call sign for this helicopter pilot, simply because his last name was Guys, so it was John Bangs Guys. But his final call sign came from banging, also guys, in a different way. Bangs finagled his way into a Marine pilot spot at the ripe old age of 32, so he was sort of old for a new pilot. He was also single, so he endlessly tried to woo women like a loyal dog. He got the call sign Greyhound for being old and always chasing a tail. He also chased new specializations. One of those was a personnel insertion extraction technique called SPIE rigging. 6 or so Marines would attach themselves to a rope and the helicopter would lift them safely off the ground. On the day this pilot earned his final call sign, he was spy rigging soldiers in the Nevada desert. The Marines were all hooked in and our brave pilot pulled in power. The problem was, he forgot what the Marines would never forget. Greyhound did not achieve enough height above the ground to get the Marines off the desert floor. He was essentially dragging 6 panicked soldiers through the sand at high speed. The pilot earned the call sign Grit for the ground resistance infantry training he provided to the guys. Please follow. I hate sand. It gets everywhere. 2 brothers, 1 cup, locker, and a secret wrestling match made the drill question his career path. Twin brothers Chang L and Chang K joined boot camp together but were put in different platoons. We got Chang L. He loved wrestling and was organizing unsanctioned hand-to-hand events in our barracks. One evening, Chang K sneaked into our bay to wrestle his brother. Suddenly, the drill appeared. Our Chang was grabbed by someone and stuffed into their wall locker. The drill wanted to have a serious heart-to-heart talk. He had gathered us close and was quietly talking about brotherhood when he was interrupted by the squeal of a wall locker opening. There was a hushed silence as the skinny little Chinese guy stepped out of the locker. Apparently we had been so quiet he thought we had all left. "Why in the duck is there a Chinese guy in his briefs in your wall locker?" "Sir, I put him there, sir." "What the duck?" "We were all wrestling, sir." The drill might have got the wrong idea what wrestling meant, as it was silent for a few seconds, and he looked like he was about to have a seizure. The DI pointed at the locker Chang and screamed at him to get his ducking wrestled behind over to his barracks. Chang ran away, leaving his terrified twin brother in his place. The drill could not look at us and left. Please follow, don't make me wrestle you.